double the attention now. Yeah, it's still Steph Curry. He still draws attention, but he just went off 20,
Yeah.
12, or 13 and 19.
Like he found his
attention.
range. He found his range. That's for sure.
Yes. I thought, yeah, that game was nuts. That game was.
It was a we're the three best players in the world. We're gonna go win this game. Other than Jokic, I'll say that. Other than our guy Jokic, we have the three best players in the world.
Absolutely. Well, the one, it was just not like Jokic has 17 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But like he was just it's just so dangerous, and they were hitting everything.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was sitting there thinking about like those shots they were hitting throughout the game, and I was just like, these dudes are cash right now, but when the game's tight and it's winning time, like, are those shots going to keep going in? And I was thinking, like, is that going to be the difference in the game? And sure enough, in the fourth quarter, I think Dwayne Wade even mentioned it in his commentary. He was like, "Oh, those shots have a different pressure when the game, when it means something." And so I was like, "Oh man, I was thinking about that earlier in the game." But that's kind of what it came down to.
For sure. 100%. Like, dude, I was just looking at that. Avramovich had 15 in the first half.
Bro, he's the lefty. Like, oh my gosh, yes, he was going
smacking
ham.
that thing.
Yeah.
And then second half disappeared. Bogdanovich, I mean, he was the one. Him and Jokic were the two that were like, oh man, I don't like. They were the ones that know that moment, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Who's that? Who?
But Bogdanovich and Nikola Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
So like really outside of it. And then Micic. I think Micic understands high level game too, because he's a EuroLeague Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he plays for the Hornets now. He's really good. Him only having 8 points, 3 of 10 shooting. That's big.
Yeah.
I thought outside of Steph though, Joel Embiid had a great game. Absolutely great game.
He did indeed. It was good to see that.
Defensively too.
Yeah, and
that dunk he had.
Yeah, that was nasty. And the thing that caught my attention was the rotations kind of went out the door. Like, you could tell the coaching
about
staff.
Time.
Well, like when you're dubbing teams by 25 plus and double digits, they're going to keep those rotations. But it's interesting how in a game like this where it's like it's not decided and we were actually trailing the majority of the game, how this coaching staff was kind of like, throw the best dudes out there. Like,
I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I feel like that was I think in my heart, I truly feel like that one was a player's choice almost.
You think
like
so?
That one, I felt like, yes, Bron and Steph came out with however much time was left in the third, and right when we made our run, right when we were making a run, and then they come out, and even Draymond tweeted it. He's like, Bron and Steph aren't tired. Why are you
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was one of those moments. Like, I don't care, man. You have two of the highly best trained athletes in the world in the game of basketball.
Yeah.
It out. And I truly think in the fourth quarter that when it got to 11 or 13 or whatever it was to start the quarter, I really think that they just went in and inserted themselves like, no, we're going in.
Yeah.
We're checking in.
Yeah, and I think
that's non-negotiable.
I think one of the cool things about this team, the USA team, is like when Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo come in, that kind of second unit, Derek White, it's a different pace of the game. It's a little bit of it's more of a fastball, where the first team, the starters, they're more methodical and not necessarily as defensively focused and causing chaos. And I think they saw that like Serbia they weren't gonna be sped up, basically.
I'm looking at Drew. Drew Holiday had 7 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Holiday is like their starting lineup. I like their starting lineup. I just personally would switch out Devin Booker for Kevin Durant, but that's just me
Well, I think
for this next game. For this
to
next game,
start
at
this
least.
next one.
Like, bro, I'm putting my best dudes on the court this game.
Yeah.
And one of those dudes is Jason Tatum. I don't give a you can't tell me you can find 7 minutes for Derek White to get 2 shots up, but Jason Tatum can't. The highest paid player in the NBA can't find time in
what I don't know what it is, because at least throwing them in there, maybe you don't feel like they're one of your top 9-10 guys, but like a player as good as Jason Tatum, it's interesting why he's not getting at least just a few minutes here and there to see what he can do.
Exactly. Like I saw a tweet. It was like you got a 6'10 guard forward sitting on the bench that can guard these shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he's an outstanding defender. I just don't. I just do not see where he can't find 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on what maybe it is that is putting him in that straight up pretty much bench riding role.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's a weird situation.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to hear if there is a reason behind it, or if it was just like, no, these other 10 guys were getting the job done.
Because that's both times they've played Serbia. Now he hasn't played.
Mm-hmm. Let's we're about 10 minutes in already. Let's welcome the people here.
Yeah.
I don't even know what episode this
46.
is. There we go. 46.
I was looking it up. That's
why we keep you around, Bush.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
A long hiatus.
Very
long hiatus.
It was a busy time for us, so it's understandable.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I told myself I was gonna take a week off and then go back into workouts, but no.
It's gonna be more than that.
I think I might take. Yeah, I'm already on week 2. I needed a break. You ever just get so like you're just in it 24/7? It feels like, and it's like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I need time to regroup and get back to like, dude, I've been grinding on college football, bringing Wyoming to a perennial powerhouse,
bringing the real pokes.
That has been the best reset I could ever ask for. So I do think I'm going to start them up again like next week, because people are probably wondering. But
let's get your quick analysis of what this new NCAA game is like. Is it everything
it's everything I ever could have asked for in the last 10 years.
It's
everything.
Dude.
And everyone who complains about it can just sell it and stop playing it. I don't care. There's always going to be those people, but like, dude, come on. We're playing. It's so.
Oh, there's people hating on it.
It's so fun. Oh, plenty. Of course, there's always going to be haters, and of course, when a new game comes out, there's going to be bugs. But like, it's a lot of fun, because to me, it's more realistic than Madden, in my opinion. Madden's some bullshit. I don't play that game no more.
It's because you take plenty L's in that game, don't you?
It's cheese, dude. It's not even. That's an arcade game. That is a straight up arcade game. You can't even throw the ball 20 yards without it being an interception. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I try to go on and play.
It's so easy to get picks in that game.
Like, I try to go on and play. I don't play online. I play AI. I play the computer, hard level, like difficulty. Not all on Madden. I did all Madden, but I'm not doing Heisman yet on college football. That's way too hard. But
gotta get your bearings.
On Madden, dude, you throw like 20 yards and it's a pick 90% of the time. I can't even get through a quarter and a half without all right, I'm done. I'm quitting.
4 picks and
can't even play a game. Can't even play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Patrick Mahomes out here throwing 4 picks. That's not realistic.
Go off, Bush. Let him hear it.
That's my no, but that's what I've been doing.
That's good, man. That's
basketball for the last 10 months needed a break.
Yeah, and like I'm sure that July, when you're doing summer basketball, that July period it's moving and grooving, man. It's nonstop. So, and when you're doing workouts and running the practices and stuff on your own, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I was just doing the 2 teams. That was a lot. 2 separate teams. Like that's the thing. Like 2 separate programs, all that. That was a lot to handle.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good ending. We struggled in the last tournament, my Wyoming boys, but all in all, I think it was a very good summer that I learned a lot from, and I think everyone that participated was glad that it happened. So that's all I can ask for after year 1. I just hope my biggest goal is just to try and get more commitment more interest, not commitment, more interest.
Yeah.
So I ain't jumping all the way into the deep end. I'm sticking to the 1 boys team, 1 girls team, and maybe add another boys team if the numbers present itself. But I'm not going to do that to these kids. I'm not going to pull off, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to coach them up the right way, make sure that the kids that are bought in are getting the time that they need and whatnot.
Well, if
so I'm sure you've seen it too.
If you get programs. Extra teams, you can, if there's a coach around there that'll help you out, you can hire them to go with a team that maybe is a developmental team or, a younger team. And you take the kids that you've worked with.
Yeah. And see, that's like, and because my thing is I'm going to be really picky about who I have coaching in my program. Like, I damn near want to recruit you to coach, or I want you to see us and be like, oh, I want to be a part of that. I don't want no like, hey, can I come do this because my kid or my relative's doing it? Like, I won't be doing none of that. I don't want to do fair. No. I don't want that gets sticky, and that's a sticky situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know how it is. Like when coaches are hiring at any level, especially at that college level, it's like you got to be bringing in guys to the system that are adding to the vision, And if there's other interests involved, then yeah, that does get a little dicey.
Because I mean, we were even talking about that with Sacred we're Iron 5 now, not Sacred Hoops, but the Iron 5 group. We're thinking like talks have been brought up about like combining with other programs and all that stuff, and that was the one coach in our program who like I'm a big fan of, Coach Derby. He said he's like, just make sure that he's like, I'm not against it, just make sure that they're in line with your vision. He's like, it doesn't have to be in line with my vision, doesn't have to be in line with that coach's vision or this coach's vision. It needs to be in line with what you see this program being and your vision and stuff. And I was like, dang, that's a great way to look at it, because it shouldn't matter to your assistant coach's visions, because in reality, you guys should be on the same like wavelength.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you bring people on that reinforce that. So, no, I think sounds like what is the next step for a lot of AAU programs is getting other programs under their umbrella and, not necessarily completely swallowing that program up, but having them be, take a certain role, and then that's how you expand, so.
It'll be fun. I mean, it's going to be, I thought about trying to do a youth team, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'll wait.
Those young cats, like how young?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a team out here. I mean, these girls I work with, they play on a team, and they're pretty dang good. Oh God, I think they're going to like sixth grade or something like that, fifth,
Mm.
sixth grade. They're gonna be some studs, these two girls, but their team is really good too. Like they're going over to Rapid and winning tournaments and stuff this last winter, and I was like, dang, okay. And so like,
Yeah.
part of me wanted to be like, hey, let's do like a youth program thing, but then at the same time, like I'm not trying to like jump in, claws out type thing, you know.
Yeah.
And
Just because you
I
don't want to
think like
stretch
my biggest
yourself
thing
too
is just
thin, or
like,
what?
yes, well, I don't want to stretch myself too far. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to get myself into a position where I'm like, okay, now I'm juggling way too many things that I can handle right now because like I'm going back. I'm going back to school too. I'm
Oh,
working
you
with
are, dude.
I'm working with BH to try and get back and do this program there. Get a degree in teaching.
Mm. Did
So
not
like,
know
there's a
that.
lot on the
Nice,
schedule.
dude.
This is like this has been like a thought that just finally turned into an action, more or less.
Making moves, bushel beans. I love it.
Um, I I'm not trying to sit behind. I'm not trying to sit behind a desk in a courthouse
That's
anymore.
fair,
I'll
dude.
be honest with you.
That's fair.
I
Got to
mean,
get in how you
it's a
fit in.
job. It's a job. I got insurance for the first. I got all that stuff for the first time ever. But like now, it's
It's
time
time
to
to spread your
grow a
wings. You're
little
a
bit more.
peacock. You gotta let you fly.
I'm a peacock. Let me fly, man. What have you been? How did you guys end up? I know you weren't on the highest of highs after your last tournament, but you know, overall, like, because I know we had some conversation about that and just like what is our biggest pet peeves as coaches. You know, like I'll just kind of say it at that. I'll let you elaborate if you want, but kind of how was your summer with the boys?
I would say it was a healthy dose of ups and a healthy dose of downs. Like there was tournaments and weekends we would leave where we were feeling like we were clicking on all cylinders, and then maybe the next weekend or the weekend after we look like you know just terrible. And it was a lot of that this summer, but I think I was happy with how my team was committed to being there, to showing up, and to getting better. I had great attendance this summer with my team, and a lot of times in summer basketball, that's half the battle, is just getting kids to practices, and tournaments. So I was glad about that. I thought the kids did a good job of coming to work, but I think the biggest thing is it was turbulent. Like we'd be flying high one weekend, and the next weekend we couldn't tie our own shoes. It seemed like.
That's ball, man. That's how my freshman team felt. Oh my God, I love those kids to death, but sweet Jesus.
Yeah,
One tournament, I'd be like, damn, we're rolling. We're rolling. And then you turn around and you're like, what just happened?
I think part of that
Did
is
I
just
tell you
that
about
they're
our last?
teenagers. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
young
we were
fellas,
like
and
that
they're
too.
like not everybody, especially at that age, brings it every day. The ones that do are the ones that typically end up being pretty elite. Um,
And
but
they're playing on elite teams too.
right. And I think that's half the battle as a coach, is getting guys to figure out, like, while we're here, let's get better. Let's not waste this hour. We have 2 hour and a half sessions per week. Let's not waste this time. It's
Mm-hmm.
not very much time throughout the week. It's an hour and a half
Mm-hmm.
sessions. Like, let's just lock in, and we'll be happy with the results when we leave after our 3 hours per week. Because that, you think about that, trying to create cohesiveness and like just a gelling effect with your team when they're coming from different schools and different places, and you only get 3 hours a week with them. That's the thing that I'm finding out in summer basketball is tough.
Yeah. Now try and be the coach that doesn't even get to see your team until it's game day.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about what you were doing with it. Not it's not. What did you say it was? And it's not sacred anymore.
Iron Five, we're
Iron
the Iron
Five.
Five now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's why I'm just thankful. Like, see, with that, it was not even like for me. Yeah, X's and O's. Like, I taught inbounds plays as we went, and so like we knew, kind of, I call something
Yeah.
out like as time, like my X's and O's came through game, like game repetition,
Yeah.
game repetition, and finally see, oh, that worked, we're going to name that this is going to be this, or like, hey, did you see that play that they just ran, we're going to call that this, and we're going to try
Yeah.
and run it now, let's go down and let's run it here, I'm going to draw it up. And so we started learning that way, to the point where like I could call out 11, 21, 32, 23, 12, all these different defensive numbers, and we all knew like, okay, we're same page, where we at? Oh, 3-2 zone, 1-3-1 zone, oh, we're in our 2-2-1 man, full court, all this stuff. So it was like on the same page call wise. But I was just there to be like just positive, just trying to be a good
Yeah.
person, good coach, good kid. So that's why I was like just super thankful that those parents were. You don't get to walk into a situation very often where you're coaching and you're not coaching in practice, or you're not in practice, you're not
So
seeing your kids throughout the week, you're only seeing them on the first day.
what do they do? Does another coach run their team practice and then you coach the game? How does it work?
Yeah, so like Clem and our director Ted, and then all the other coaches who can make it, they're always in rapid, running stuff, like doing drill stuff and stuff like that. And so like,
More just skill
things of
development,
that nature.
kind of like
Yeah,
basic things that
so
applies
like
to everybody.
so like it's I'll be honest, it took a lot of button heads with me and Clem. I'll be real with you. This past winter and summer, just to try and get the same cohesiveness, because he's coaching my guys in practice, and then sometimes in some tournaments that I can't even make it. So it's like I'm telling him what I want, but I also got to trust that what he's also doing and wanting to implement is good too. But there was times, where, as as it is with coaches, you don't see the same eye to eye on certain things, and you're like, no, like I don't want, and you just not necessarily butt heads, but you just kind of disagree, and you're like, no. And we had a couple moments like that, but like I'm glad it happened, because now me and him have figured this out. Like his team and stuff, like we're running the same stuff. Like me and him have like a cohesive language, like a continuity between our two teams now, that they know. They just know what it is. Oh, they ran Texas. Oh, we're gonna run Texas too. We know what Texas is. Other teams in our program don't have that, but that's because me and Clem actually just, had to sit down, and not. It was a lot of car rides and a lot of talking.
Yeah, I think
post game talk.
That's like, well, and another thing is, you guys might be coaching the same thing, but he likes to do it one way and you like to do it another way, and finding that balance of, why does Clem like to do it this way? Why do you like to do it this way? What works for our team and our kids? And I think that's ultimately what being on a coaching staff is like, we might coach or teach things differently, but what works for our guys? What works for these guys that we're working with? And whether that's your idea or my idea, let's do with what works for the kids, not because it's someone else's team,
And I think that's, I'll be honest with you, he has really taught me how to be patient after a post game talks, dude. Oh my days, when we're in the car and we're sitting there and he wants to discuss everything, I'm like, bro,
let me unwind.
I'm just trying to regroup my mind,
especially after like a bad L.
I don't even know what's I don't even know what's going on. Like, but no, I always like those though because he always be saying things. I'm like, that's a good point. Even though I don't really be replying or stuff, like I'll just kind of let him just ramble. I'll just be like, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I kind of
Well, and
that's a good idea right there, or something like
Clem will
that.
talk to himself. Clem will sit there and have a conversation with himself, and just know that you're an ear listening to him.
But this is how I know that we like combat each other. So, or that maybe that's not even the right word choice, but like we gel very well as a like a little staff, like a little coaching staff. When he's running his team, and I sit on his bench, and if he's running, and when I'm running my team, and he's on the bench, or if he's just kind of in the area, sometimes we don't even necessarily sit on the bench. We just try and sit kind of like, close to where if you're walking down the sideline, you can kind of sit there and you're sitting there talking to him a little bit, even though he's not on the bench. In the last tournament we went to, like there was a couple games I was looking over to him, like, am I making the right sub? Like, is that the right? Do you think that's the right sub? Like stuff like that, learning to trust him. But the minute I knew it was, I was like, oh, this is the type of dude you need on your bench because he understands it. Is we were in Colorado and he got pissed at a call and he's bitching. Like all they were doing was just bitching for a whole half, and I got annoyed because I was on the end of the bench just kind of on my phone. Like they had two coaches going in the game. I didn't need to be a third ear. I just sat on the end and just kind of was like cheering on and stuff like that. And I just finally go, bro, shut up. Just shut up. You're bitching. Shut up. And he got so mad at me. He was like, he goes, why don't you just shut up? I'm like, no, bro, just shut up and worry about the game. And I knew it pissed him off. And then not the next tournament when we were in Sioux Falls, he did the same thing to me. I lost my damn cool on a ref. And he's like, Bush, shut up. I was like, Clem, don't talk to me right now. So mad, but I was like, you need guys like that because they do kind of like, okay, yeah, I do need to calm down. He checked me. I checked him. At least he's going to check me now and not take it personal.
Well, that's how you guys are buddies, because if you weren't, you guys would have some animosity towards each other. But you also know, like, it's in the heat of the battle, like that's what happens sometimes. Like someone's losing their crap, and you got to be like, all right, reel it in, man. Like it's not that big a deal.
Did I tell you the story how we lost our last game this summer?
No.
My Iron 5 team. Why? This is the craziest. I'm sick to this day. And over a youth basketball game, which is funny as hell to me. But so we're up, like there's a minute left, and this whole scene of events that unfolds is wild. We're up like 45 to 42, and we come down and they try to foul us, and they foul one of our kids, but push them on the ground like crazy. They called an intentional foul, so 2 points our ball, right? Oh, perfect. So I'm thinking, minute left. It's like, all right, we finally got this. We're gonna finally kind of pull away. When we're up by as much as 20 this game, but for some reason we were in two tournaments. The first tournament we were in was like an elite tournament, and we did really well. Second tournament was like a bum tournament, and we just struggled because we were playing down to teams' levels. But this team, they down 5 now. We get the ball, turn it over, and they come down and they hit a three, so it's 47-45. Oh, we come down, turn it over again, and they go down, try to get a shot off, miss. We get the rebound, dribble it down, foul. Okay, perfect. I'm thinking we'll ice the game right here. Kid makes his first free throw. My guy Zach makes his first free throw, and then he missed his second. I'm like, damn, okay, what? Because at the time I was kind of thinking like, if he does miss this, do I foul? But there's 20 seconds left, so I didn't want to play the. That's a lot of time.
Have you worked with them on that? Have you worked with them on that situation?
Yes, yeah. And we have. So like, I was thinking like I instinctively yelled foul right away, but then I called it off like ASAP because I was like, "There's 20 seconds on the clock. I'm not doing this free throw game back and forth because we aren't the best. We aren't the best at the line, so I'm not playing that game." And kid comes down and just walked into a three like KD does, and he just kind of dribbles down, walks in left hand shot, hits it, just smacks that thing with like 13 seconds left. So I was like, damn, because in my mind, that's still way too early. Like I'm not trying to foul you until about under
Yeah, but yet, to
8
your point,
seconds.
you can't just let him walk into a three and not contest
That's the
that.
thing that made me upset too, is because we were backpedaling the whole way and just kind of let him shoot it. And it was one of those where like he shot it, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, damn it, that's going
That's
in.
going in. Yeah, you
Cashed
always
it.
know.
Nothing but net. And we panic and get the ball in the inbound. Mind you, if we just chill out, that clock's rolling.
Hmm.
Chill out, don't panic. Like, worst case scenario, we go to overtime. Okay. Throw the ball into a triple team. Kid that just hit it steals it, dribbles to the other side of the court to the left wing, stops, pump fakes, and then with his left foot as the pivot foot, he steps across with his right, plants, lifts, shot, bam, at the buzzer. I'm not
Drilled it.
joking you. He hit a 1-2 pull up three for game. And there's like 3 seconds left, but the clock doesn't stop. And my face instantly turned to this kid on our team that had like his best tournament all summer, and his face was just like, "Are you like we just lost the biggest game of our career, dude?" I shook their hands. I walked outside and was pissed. I threw my
Just
water bottle.
sick.
I threw my clipboard, and then I walked back inside, and I said, "All right, guys, let's go meet outside. Like we gotta go meet. Let's go talk about it." And I walk outside, and first thing I do is go pick up my water bottle, pick up my clipboard that was like 20 feet away from everyone. And I just see Clem coming back with his face in his hands, just laughing because he knew he just put it together right there. That it's like, oh damn, Bush came out here and was tossing stuff all over the
Yeah.
place. Oh, dude, and it's not like that. It's not that like that's the type of reaction I always have over that, but it was just like, damn, dude, like that
Yeah.
one was
Those
one
ones
of those
hurt.
like you
Those ones
had like,
hurt, man.
bro,
I
I had
how
never
many
seen anything like
times
that before.
how many times would you say you threw something this summer? Because I know how many times I
I
threw
probably
something.
3, honestly.
Three, yeah,
I'd say three
that's what I
times.
had as well.
I threw a marker.
And I
No, I
didn't,
threw our
and
clipboard
like
on
when
the
I say
ground
throwing, just for the people that might be concerned with our anger issues, it's not like whipping it and throw. It's just a little,
at
like a
somebody.
yeah. It's we're not throwing it at someone. It's just like a toss to the side or like a
First
flip against the wall or something.
first tournament, called the timeout. So what are we doing? Just whap, slam that thing right on there. Like I hit the clipboard and it did that bam bam and it hit the ground like real quick again. I'm like, what are we doing? Then I had to call another like and just walked up and I said, y'all don't want to talk? You guys can just I said, you guys don't want to talk on the court? This is your time to talk to each other. Let's figure it out. And then the next two are the two I'm counting the water bottle and the clipboard as two objects that
Yeah,
as one.
you.
That was a
Oh,
two for
that's
one.
one instance. Yeah, that was the old 2 for 1.
One instance, two
Yeah,
objects. So
I
yeah,
respect
dude, I
that.
tossed my water bottle pretty damn far. I thought I broke my clipboard. Like I broke a chunk off the clipboard, the clip that holds
Marker.
the marker on a rock. Yeah, that was not a pretty moment for me. I'll be
I
honest. That's
think
why
one
I
of the
walked out into
all-time
an area where there
moves.
was no one.
Yeah, I think one of the all-time moves a coach can pull is like to send a message to their team at least is to take the double timeout. Like you take a timeout, they call you, the refs are calling you out at the end of the timeout, and you're like, you know what? I'll take another one. You take another timeout. Yeah,
I'm
give
not
me another
done.
one.
Hold
Yeah,
up. Time out. I'm
I'm
not
not
done. I
done
need another
talking.
minute.
We don't
Can I
need
get
this other
can I
timeout.
get another how many fulls do I get? I get 2 fulls. I'm gonna use them right
Yeah,
now. We need
right
to sit
now.
down
Yeah, we're
and
gonna have
talk.
a conversation.
Um,
That's a great
mhm.
move.
No, it was a good summer though. I mean, like I said, like I was saying at the beginning, like it's very rare to be able to walk into the situation I did. So I'm 100% grateful for all the parents on that team that allowed me to do that. And I kind of said that in a post too. I was just like, hey, you guys don't understand like how much that means to me to let me, because like I wanted to coach the top team, but like at the same time I knew it was going to be tough because I live all the way over here, and I can't be there for practice. So like
And the
just
top
them
team out
being
of
able to
Rapid.
trust me with that was yeah.
Yeah.
So them being able to for that age anyways,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just like it meant a lot, I guess. It means more to coaches than, than you true than I think people truly understand.
Yeah, man, it's nice to have players and parents that understand the time that you are taking away from other things that you're pouring into their kids. You know what I mean? Like that's
Mhm.
parents and players that can recognize those things. That's big.
Mhm. I think like a lot of kids now need to this is the perfect time to sit down and really look back on your summer and see like, okay, what I didn't play a lot, why, where did I struggle, do I need to get in? Because we talked about, me and you talked about this, like that's my biggest, one of my biggest pet peeves is when like kids get, you can see the frustration on the face when they're not getting in. That's when I get upset. And I don't. To me, that is so selfish. I got my ass chewed for that one time so bad, and it changed. Like never again. It was never again type deal. Like I wasn't getting in, so I was just kind of sitting there and being a sour puss and not cheering on my teammates.
Yeah.
And like, dude, Bubba ripped me a new one. Like never. That was never gonna happen again. So like to me, it's just selfish. So I hate that. And then at the same time, it seems like it's the ones that don't put forth the true effort. Like I said it on someone's post today. Like there's just a lack of um, effort, a lack of like commitment. That's what it is. A lack of commitment
Mm.
to just wanting to get better. Honestly,
Yeah, I
like you said,
think
there's the kids that do and they're great, but like there's it's the kids that the kids that throw the biggest fits are the ones that lack the biggest commitment, and that's the problem I have.
yeah, and I think to what you started saying is it's important for them as players to look at it and be like, did I put forth the effort to get better and to improve on these things that my coach was talking about, and being honest with themselves about that. And the other thing is like
Mm-hmm.
I'll never fault a kid for being frustrated that they're not getting the time that they want. That's not the issue to me. It's what you said as well, is if that affects the type of teammate you're being. When like when when you do get your opportunity, are you going in there and are you being pouty, or are you like, making the most of that opportunity? And then when you're not, and you're on the bench, or you're not involved in the game playing wise, are you still engaged? And like that's the part that
Mm-hmm.
I really struggle with, because your investment isn't matching what you say your desire to be better and be a part of this team is. You say you want to play and you
Mm-hmm.
want to be a part of it and all this, but then when it comes to being a teammate and supporting your teammates that maybe are getting those minutes, you're choosing not to do that. That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, 100%. It's just don't be afraid to talk to your coach. Never be afraid to talk to your coach. Not all coaches are bad people. We're not scary people. We want to see everyone succeed, but it's hard to at the same time it's extremely difficult per se. Like we're just talking about Team USA. Yes, to us it makes sense on Jason Tatum should play, but as that coaching staff, that's a very hard decision to make because you have
Mm-hmm.
12 all-stars on that team. You have 12 of the greatest players of 12 of the best players in the NBA that are American. So like it's tough,
Mm-hmm.
so my biggest thing is just like I love it when a kid can come up, coach. Well, what was it? What did I not do? What did I not do? I can just be like, I felt like, last couple games you just weren't, you turning the ball over, you just didn't seem ready, yada yada yada. Like I'm 100. I'm the type that's gonna tell you, but I'm also gonna be the type that says like the younger kids on my team, one of the freshman kids on my Wyoming team playing up in varsity this summer. I was like, I said, I want you to go in and dribble into a double team. I want you to go and dribble into the paint and lose the ball. I want you to put yourself in a situation on a layup where you're like, oh, damn, that was a dumb idea. And he kind of looked at me like, what? And I'm like, it's like, how else are you going to learn if you don't try? Yes, you're going to drive into the lane and you're not going to be perfect every single time. There's going to be a time when 3 people are around you and you're not going to know what to do. Might as well start learning how to figure that out now rather than when it's time for your turn to play, you know? So I'm like a firm believer on the ones that you're trying to get to develop and like not that's a bad word choice. Like the bottom of the roster, like the kids that aren't ready yet. I want you to go turn it over. It's okay, bro. You're going to turn it over a lot of times in your life. Go miss a layup around 3 beat people. Go get your shot blocked by the 6'6" kid and you're only 6 foot. Like go figure out how to shoot around that, you know? Like that's what I'd rather see.
Yeah, and I think that's,
rather than catch the ball and pass right away.
If kids are learning to play at that level, I think that's good in some aspects. I think it's like, to your point about this coaching staff dealing with these 12 guys of who to play on Team USA. I think kids and or players and parents lose sight of the fact that us as coaches, we're not there to just think about your son or your daughter. Like we're thinking about everybody, and if that's something that's tough for you to deal with, like that's what being part of a team is. That's what being playing a sport that not the majority of the team a lot of times is sitting on the bench. 5 guys are out there, and putting together lineups that work well together. Those are the things that coaches think about, and asking the questions of where do I fit into that, or where do I fit into this group and what you see with this team, and not necessarily saying, coach, how do I get more playing time? That's good. Like you're on the right track, but how do you fit into this team? Because I'm not just thinking about how do I play you more. I'm thinking about who do I play with these guys? Who do I play with this group of guys? Who do I play when it's big, small? Whatever it might be, the situation is, it never involves, from a coach's standpoint, it never involves one kid in mind. It involves the other 4 kids out there as well.
100%. I'm big on flow. Like I'm a big flow guy. So like, example, like if we're on a big run, like I'm letting that shit ride. I don't care who's
as you should, dude.
I don't care.
You got to.
And I'll turn around and look like I'll look at kids. I'll be like, this is going.
These guys are hooping, man. Sorry, you guys get comfortable right there.
I was like, I know. Like I've said it too. I know y'all ain't playing a minute, but they're going, and it's not. I'm not subbing them out until they stop, or until it starts going a little back and forth, 3 or 4. You know, if we start getting to the point where it's score, all right, now we need to make some subs. Let's make some adjustments. But if it's just score, stop, nah, we're going.
That's what I like about
that group until, like you said, someone says sub.
Yeah, like those prime warrior teams. I feel like they did a good job of that. They would just play those lineups that were going bananas for long minutes, and then once they cooled off, they would make their subs and kind of get back into their rotation. But I'm the same way. Like if those 5 guys out there are clicking and they're going on a little run, don't worry about getting subbed in right now, man.
Give a damn who's on the court. Yeah, exactly. Give a damn. I don't care if it's in the bottom 5.
And this is my mini rant for today. I feel like,
let's hear it.
I feel like some parents and players think that all coaches or when they're not in the situation that they want to be in, that the coach is playing favorites. that may be the case sometimes. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. The majority of coaches, I'm here to tell you this, the majority of coaches do not give a flying rat's behind who is on the floor. They want who is playing good basketball, who's playing well together, and who's playing to win the game. They don't care who it is, especially at the youth level.
I mean,
when there ain't money involved, when there ain't
Yep.
scholarship money involved or millions of dollars, and these kids are playing for the love of the game and for the fun of it, the coaches do not care. There you go.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you and say that I don't have favorites. Of course, I have favorites, but there's
I'm
a
not
reason
saying
why
you don't
I have
have.
favorites.
I'm not saying you don't have players that are some of your favorite to work with, or some of like the player and the person that they were. That man, I can look back and say that's one of my favorite players ever. But in the flow of the game, when when it's time to win.
Mm-hmm.
And a certain lineup is out there, and my favorite player is on the bench, but we're hooping out there. My favorite player is going to sit on the bench because we're
And be
winning
a
the game.
damn good
Like,
teammate.
yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I got what you're saying. No, my point was just like, yes, people are gonna see that I have favorites. Like that's a given. It's gonna happen, but there's a reason why.
Yeah,
It is
it
the
ain't
kids
just
that are, like
because
you
we
said,
feel
fun
like
to work
it.
with. They're in the gym every day. They're asking questions to me every day. They're talking to me every day. They're saying, "Hey, I did this today." They're doing all this, that, and the other thing. Like, damn, you're just like, you're where can you do wrong right now? I mean, that's how I sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, this kid's doing everything right. What do I like? How do I? And so
Yeah,
it's
and
like
it's
I feel
easy
like
for
parents
kids
see
that are
that and they're like,
committed and that
parents
are
see,
about the
yeah,
right things. Those kids they're easy to. Those are the easy ones to be like, man, that was one of my favorite kids, and that they put the work in too. Like if they really work at their game.
Yeah, just I didn't have any real run-ins with parents this year. I'll be honest with you. Good season. Good season.
I
And
can't
I
say the
stick to
same.
that. I tell them I'm to the guns on that. Like I'm very
Those are the
adamant with
most
my team
rewarding
of
seasons.
100%. I think I had like maybe two brush ups with, upsetness, but it was like
But it blew over quickly.
whatever, like sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
what's the
I don't know.
solution?
I just like I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we want to do then? But like yeah, it was just a good year. I think it was just solid because I'm here to win. I'm going to play the kids that want to play. I reward the ones that show up and I'm intense. I'm not going to MF you. I'm not going to degrade you. I'm not going to do none of that, but show up to work.
That's right.
That's
Let them know.
that's one thing. I'll be honest with you. That's one thing that I did learn from Trumbauer was like every day, every single day, it was the same intensity. It never changed. Every damn day, like he came through that door with the same fire. Like he was ready to kick a door
Sometimes
open the minute
he came in too hot, man.
Oh, see, he come in like
He
too
come
hot,
in
but like
too
you know what I
hot
mean. Like that's
sometimes.
one thing that I learned from him. I'm like,
yeah, that's fair.
If you're gonna come in like that, you got to be like that 24/7. You can't be up and down all the time because then you really won't like.
Because then they don't know what's real. They don't know what.
And y'all knew, like y'all knew that was real, and well, it's time to go, and we got to go.
We just knew once he walked through the doors, there better be no jacking around. Like there better be no dudes not doing what they're supposed to be doing because it was a deep 12 immediately.
Dude, deep 12. Deep 12.
That was always the worst, man. You
thank God I didn't have to run. I didn't have to run.
When he would say go get on the line, we'd always just kind of
Bush set the clock to 30 seconds.
We'd always kind of wait to see how long he told you to put on the clock. Like if it
I
was
did
if it
you
was
guys a solid
if it
every
was a
single
minute
time.
20. Oh, I know you did. That's why we keep you around, Bush. Yeah, if it was a
I
minute
think.
20, you knew it was going to be a long one. That sucked.
Oh my God, we went in the locker room one time. I think someone was like, "Damn, Bush, you gonna start the clock like right when he blows his whistle?" I said, "No, bro, I give you a second.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, you
That is
can't
all I
be
can give you."
too
Because that
liberal
second,
with it.
the second of me not, because I would set the clock. You could like kind of hide the clock and set it with the decimal point. So like I would give you guys 30 seconds, like 30.8 seconds, and
Yeah.
then the other second on top. So you guys got damn near a second and a half
Yeah.
of leeway to get your asses back. And I think it was Yosh that called me out, and I said, "Yosh, you're just slow."
Yeah,
So
man. He
I'm
took those
sorry,
little
man.
steps. Yosh took the
Like I'm
shortest
sorry.
steps, man. That's what I remember watching when he would run. I was like, dude, when we're running these longer ones, stride it out. You're taking like 3 times the steps of everybody else. Come on, man. Like it's because you had a big old upper body.
sprint that if that kid was 3 inches taller,
Oh,
man,
he'd have been Division
we
One.
we wouldn't know him personally. We would just know him by his name, probably.
Yeah, he'd have been Division One.
He was. I'd never seen a hit. He could move grown ass 6'8" dudes with just his body. It was just a power dribble.
He was just an ox down there, man. I loved it. And just he had that kind of Zach Randolph, like using the backboard, finding his angles. He had that game.
Do you remember when Trump told him he had like he's like, Yosh, he's like, you got a green light, but it's not all the way green, like it's yellow sometimes.
Yeah,
So
of
make sure you're
course.
like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying pole, like you got a yellow light too. Because I think Yosh heard green one game, and he was like, "Oh, green light!" Start shooting that thing, and Trump was like, Yosh, the green doesn't mean green for you.
Yeah, man. It means
You're
if
more
you're
of a
open,
check the intersection.
yeah, it's like
Check the intersection first. If it's open, walk. If it's
yeah,
not, then
you got to look both
let's wait.
directions twice first, and then you can shoot that thing if there's still no traffic.
Oh, he was. I mean, he was due for a 3 a game.
I
That was
loved
the
when he
funny
would
thing.
hit him though.
Like
He would get hyped up.
the two
The two to the
though,
dome.
bro. He did that. The two to the dome. No one saw it except for like me, Sergio, and I think Miles. We're all sitting next to each other. We're like, did he just do two to the dome? No way, he just did that.
Oh man, Yosh has a game. If his knees are holding up, he has a game that will translate till he's about 50 years old.
I wish that we could have like, if only we could have had a camera crew follow around that unit of people. Though that just kind of stretch of
That
like
would have been a great thing.
the year, like our first year there together to the first year of the international kids. Those 3 years, if we could have had just like a documentary crew following us around. Actually, you know what? Missed that last year. I don't want them following the international kids around.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
No,
What do
that
you
no.
what do you think? Which year do you think we had just more fun as a squad? The first year or the second year? That's a tough one, dude.
Well, okay. I guess the second year was with the international kids, bro. I don't know. I think that first year.
I'm just talking my 2 years because you were there longer than me. I know.
I think the end of the first year to the summer to the start.
Of the
Like
second
that,
year.
once we kind of migrated, once everyone kind of migrated to King Street, like towards the end of the first year, and all that, and then once we got to King and we were there for that summer, we did the whole summer.
I agree.
Worked, and then right into school with football and all that. That was because that was a fun one.
That was a fun summer, and just a fun period of time. I would say the second year, yeah, probably more. Actually, I
I
don't
just
know.
miss,
I don't
like,
know
I
if
ain't
I
gonna lie,
can.
I
I don't know
miss,
if I can give it that easily because
like, I
the.
miss Bisgard's house.
I do too. That was
I'm
such a
not gonna
good
lie,
time.
I miss going to Bisgard's house. It was.
I just remember singing
Yeah,
White
Bisgard's.
Iverson in the TV room.
Oh my god.
Me, you, and
Do you
Serge.
remember? That was so funny. That was so funny because Bisgard goes, what do you say? He left. And he's like, "Hey Bush, I'm going downtown. You, Hilgs, and Krogman got it. All right." So we moved like the couch or whatever out and hooked up White. We played White Iverson for like, I think someone was like, "Can y'all play
like
a different
like
song?
5 straight times or something like
Yeah, y'all want to play a different song?"
that.
Nah,
We were in the moment. We could
no.
not play a different song.
That's the only house I've ever been in to like party at where the host was like, "Shoes off at the door, everybody. Shoes off
Yeah,
at the
he
door."
had his house
That was
rules.
crazy.
He had his house rules.
You could,
Somebody's shoes
and if
always
you got
ended up
caught with the
missing.
shoes on past the door, Wyatt's Jordans. Wyatt learned never to take Jordans to
Yeah,
Brady's
man,
house.
those things
Stupid.
got snatched.
Stupid. Wear some Crocs to a house you're gonna have to take your shoes
Yeah,
off.
you know the
No one's gonna be
rules,
looking at your
Krogs.
feet.
You know the rules, Krogman. Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
You know you're
And then
gonna
he
have to
tried
take
to
those
blame it
things
on
off
Brady.
anyway.
Like, no, that's on you, man. That's on you. I think he got his. I think someone's almost took a box of shoes from when he was on King Street, and they were having one downstairs, but someone got caught. Like, no,
Mm.
don't be stealing shoes. It's dumb.
Mm-mm-mm.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was talking to Miles at the last tournament. I was like, bro, I'm not. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been having some real come to life moments lately of like, you really only get one shot every single day. Like, just talking like, because sometimes I'll be thinking about like that stuff right there about BH, and then you start thinking like damn, that was in 2014, that was in 2015, that was 10
Long
years
time
ago.
ago. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
10 years ago.
I know.
So it's like, damn.
I
don't know,
think about
when
that
people
stuff from
say
time
when
to
people
time
say
too.
enjoy it, yeah, when people say enjoy it, you just are so naive when you hear it at the first, like, it'll be forever. Oh, it's gonna be forever, and then you're out of it, and you're like, damn, that was quick.
Black Hills doesn't feel like that long ago, and then you think about it like, oh, I graduated from there 8 years ago.
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah. I started school there 10 years ago,
Yeah.
like 2014. 10 years ago today. That's cool. 10 years ago this month. That's crazy. We're old, man.
King Street will never have another.
Wyatt just turned 30.
Yeah, I know.
Krogs turned 30. I'm 30 in a month and 6 days.
Mm.
It's not okay. Not
Welcome
okay.
to the 30 club soon.
All right, so what do you got for this gold medal game? Who's winning?
Oh, I think USA is winning it. I think
that's a trick question because you can't choose anybody, but
I think this was the gold medal game. Serbia, United States.
Can I have my quick little rant?
Go ahead.
This is my rant, actually. I was sick and tired of seeing all these Americans pissed off that the Americans beat Jokic. Put your golden boy down. It's okay. He plays for a different country. It's the Olympics. We cheer for Team USA. I don't give a damn if you hate Bron. You cheer for Team USA because I hate Bron.
Speaking of,
Christ,
I wanted
people.
to bring that up about you.
That shit pisses me off.
You've shown Bron some love this Olympics.
It's the Olympics, bro. It's the Olympics. You don't get these teams a lot. Every 4 years, I've gotten to see. I really started paying attention to the Olympics in 08. So 08, I've seen 5 teams. Like, I look forward to this, man, because these are the best teams that you'll ever see put together of all time, ever. You can't deny that. The best rosters ever assembled started in 1992 and in the Olympics, and it went from there on.
That is true. So,
I just don't like. I got that. Browning or Madison said that on Twitter too. Like, find like all these Jokic fans, that are Nuggets fans and stuff, like mad at. It's like, save that stuff for the NBA. This is the Olympics. Like, we're cheering for our country. I get it. Jokic might be your player or might be your team. Country over franchise every day of your existence.
No, I'm with you. I respect that you know, if you're a Jokic fan, but the stars and stripes need to prevail,
I was in the
man.
I was praying for Bron today. I was like, man, I need you in this fourth. I need you. And he showed up. He had a triple double today.
He showed up.
The quietest triple double ever. But yeah, that's just my little rant. Gold medal, Team USA. I hope we kick the ever living piss out of Rudy Gobert. Oh my God. I hope he plays and is just baby food. Baby food.
I mean, I just don't think. I haven't watched one game of France, to be honest with you, but they're too young.
I can't believe they're there.
They're too
I'll
young.
be honest.
Okay, I saw. Did Wemby?
They're too young and too old.
Yeah, they have nothing in between. Did Wemby score 40 today?
What?
That might have been incorrect, but I thought I saw that on Twitter.
Oh.
43, right?
38 and 10. Oh, that was a Spurs game. Oh shit, that was Spurs. Whoops. When friend, I need to go to. Just search up France versus Germany.
Oh, he had 11 points. That must have been big time.
Yeah, see, Yabasuli is their leading scorer. That's just crazy. He played for the Celtics, by the way, if y'all didn't know that.
Oh, did he?
Not this year, but he used to. He's played in the league. Yabasuli, yeah. But no, I mean, here's my thing. Like like you said, I'm Team USA 100%. I told this in a group chat. In the group chat I'm in with some former players of mine from Western. They know how to get under my skin. You just like anyone else does, start popping off about LeBron, and you piss Bush off real quick.
Yep.
But he said something, and I was just like, nope, no. I said, me and Matthew discussed this last night because Matthew's a huge Bron guy, and me and him go at it all the time.
I remember.
I was like, me and Matthew discussed this last night. We are calling a truce until the Olympics is over because we are cheering for Team USA, and that means Bron is on Team USA, and that means other people that you guys may not like are on Team USA. So we cheer for them. Like
that's fair.
But personally, I thought it was gonna be us and Canada in the final. I really did, and I was kind of hoping for that because
I think Canada was a contender.
On the simple fact that we could say that North America dominates the world in basketball.
That would have been cool.
That's what I wanted. Cool. That's what I thought would have been cool.
I did not even think about that.
Is that North America can dominate basketball. But we know who the real daddy is of the world, and when it comes to the terms of an orange ball and a hoop.
Yeah, it is the US of A. That is for sure. The last thing I would like to say that I love about this team is, and this is obvious, we get to see Steph, LeBron, and KD on the same team doing things that we've never seen before. That's just beautiful.
It's beautiful. It was like when we got to see Kobe. Dude, it's like when we got to see Kobe, Bron, and KD together. And Kobe, Bron, and D Wade together. Like,
yep.
The MJ, I mean, I wish we could have seen that, but like you said, that's the cool thing about these teams, and that's what I like personally. Moving forward, I hope that Team USA starts putting more emphasis on the World Cup and those other all the other FIBA stuff in the summertime. Maybe you don't have to commit every summer, but if you're going to commit to the Olympics 4 years from now in 2028. Then you have to commit to playing in the World Cup, or you have to commit to 2 summers of FIBA play, or else we're still going to start getting beat. Like, it's going to happen. The world is catching up because of the team Serbia is a team. They're a good team that has played FIBA games together for a long time, and we're a bunch of dudes that, I mean, yes, we have 12 best players on the bench or on the in our roster, but they don't play together every year. Like, they're playing against each other.
Yeah.
So it's different, and that's different. Putting five
Oh,
people on the court
no
together,
question.
no matter the talent.
I think,
and you're going up against a team. It's tough.
I think what this team is doing well, that I think is more so the bigger thing, because I think the talent in for America is always probably going to be, I shouldn't say always, but will remain superior, I think, for a long time from a talent standpoint. What this team is doing good is they're playing as a team, even though they haven't, and like you said, playing together longer and for multiple, years and summers or whatever. Yes, that will build that cohesion and stuff like that. But I think this team has embraced the fact that it's like, this is just about winning gold. It's Curry went off today. They've had multiple guys go off throughout the tournament, and they're mature enough to play for that purpose. I think with some of the other teams, in addition to the lack or to the lesser talent that we had, like for the World Championships, I think that team was still talented enough to win, but it's a completely different look of the type of basketball they're playing, I guess, real generally put. This team is playing winning basketball, and basketball that translates to 5-on-5 pickup and at the Olympics, because they're playing a game that translates. But I think that's more the big thing, is getting groups of guys that know that that's the purpose, that know that my role is going to be different, and embracing it.
Because to my, like, just to elaborate on that, because in my opinion, I just feel like to you saying that right there is a perfect point. Like, last year we didn't have anyone really feared. You have Steph, Bron, and KD on the court. That's scary as shit.
That's true.
Scary.
That's a good point.
Teams are going to see that, and they're going to be like, oh, we got to be perfect. Let's say, I think someone said a JV team, like if you would consider like the JV team, like if they didn't have like AD, Bron, Embiid, Steph, all those guys, and they brought another team like this to the World Cup, everyone was like, oh, they'd win just as much if you had like Ja and, like the second tier guys. And in my mind, I'm thinking, nah, I do not know if I truly believe that, because there's no one that I truly fear out of that yet.
Like,
so it's like
it would, I think,
that
to your
like
point,
that group,
go ahead.
Like that class has more of a combination with the world than it does with just our country, whereas LeBron, Steph, KD's class had more competition within our country more than just the world.
Well, and I think too that it would be interesting to see a group like that in a game like today. Like, would they have had the fortitude to come back in a game like that? Because I think we've talked about this with the NCAA tournament, with kind of just playoff and championship basketball, you're gonna have those game or maybe couple games where you're clawing back, and it's not coming so easy. Even if you are the better team, it's not coming as easy as maybe it did in this past game. But are we still going to figure it out? I think that's the difference of kind of what we're both talking about. Is these are guys that they didn't bat an eye at it. They were just like, "Okay, we're down 13 or 12 going into the fourth. We're going to win this game." So it'd be interesting to see how that younger squad would do in a game like this, where it's not going their way. Can they still figure it out?
And that's why I want to see more of a commitment level for it moving forward, because in 4 years we're not going to have KD, Bron, and Steph. We won't. just the way it is. It's the proof put in the pudding. Maybe it's Devin Booker's time to show and add those guys' time, but like, let's build their continuity together. That's all I want. Just build the continuity within, because when in that between 2008 and 2012, like when they brought Kobe into Team USA, he was a part of. That's what the thing was. Is we're building every summer to the Olympics. You know, we're playing in the World Championships. We're gonna play in this FIBA stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna do all this stuff and commit to it. You know, and that's why we just absolutely ran it in 08 and in 2012. I think, and it's because there was a commitment ever since then. Like 2016's team, they gave you, like, there was moments where we were like, damn, like Australia could beat us. Like there was moments in those Australia games where we were like, oh shit, we might lose Australia. You know, 2020, the 2020 Olympic team lost to France in the first game and then struggle. Like
they won gold,
play their asses off to get that. They won gold, but they won by 5 against France in the medal round. But like the world's catching up to the point where we just need more commitment, because our star power isn't as amazing
as it used to above be. Everybody else,
or isn't. Exactly. I mean, the world is catching. Half our league is international players. In the NBA, and to Noah Lyles, we'll never see this. That's why it's called. That's why the NBA champions are the world champions.
And that's like I'm sure you saw the stat of like the 1992 team played against a total of 6 NBA players. In their run to the gold, and then this Olympics, Team USA will play against like 68 or something like that NBA guys, which is
it's
wild.
Time
like
to start putting.
I was watching Canada. I was watching the Canada game, and I didn't realize how many NBA guys are from Canada. Like I knew the Dylan Brooks, Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I didn't know like Dwight Powell was from there. I didn't know Nickeil Alexander-Walker was from there. Well, I guess because he's cousins with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Kelly Olynyk. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk.
I didn't know he was, but I was like, dang, all of these NBA, like their starting 5 and their like the next 4 or 5 guys off the bench were all NBA guys.
RJ Barrett. They had RJ
Barrett. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good team. Canada's gonna, like, when we hope, because the Olympics are coming to America in 2028, so I'm so excited for that. North America's hosting.
LA, baby.
I cannot. I'm checking game. I'm going to the Olympic game. Have to. Have to. But no, I think that's why I'm getting tired of this. Like, I was a firm person. I was very firm on 1992 being the greatest team of all time. Ooh, not sold no more. Sorry, not sold. Because I'm tired of everyone saying, "Oh, 1992 wouldn't have been down like this." Yeah, well, they're not. They also didn't play 10 NBA players on the same team. That's on the team.
Like it's a different game.
It is a different game.
And I won't say they're scrubs, but they like that 92 team played against pro guys. They were just all European guys or European or international guys. But there's something to be said for when the best league in the world, the 92 team, which is the NBA, is the best league in the world, obviously. That the 92 team played against 6 other NBA players total. And then this one times 10 of that. Like,
I think the 92 team helped grow the game. I think they really helped start like the growth of international basketball.
Yeah, and I think that's why you're seeing like, so many good international players nowadays.
Because then you start sprinkling in the Manu Ginobili's, the Dirk Nowitzki's, Tony Parker's. Then that spreads into what we got today, which is just a plethora of players: Giannis, Luka, all these dudes like Shea. Like, I can't even think of them because Joel Embiid is that's still a question mark to me. I think it's crazy how the Olympics works like that. Like, since he's like a citizen here, he can suit up for the United States. Like, that was a real thing that Spain. Yeah, no, it caught me off guard because I remember the very first time I thought I saw it happen was with Serge Ibaka in Spain, and someone was like, "Oh, how do you know he's not from Spain?" I said, "Come on,
Well,
just
he's
he's from. I think he's from a country in Africa,
yeah,
but he has the dual
and
citizenship,
that's
and that's
with a
where
lot of
it threw
those.
me
Yeah,
off at first
yeah, no,
because I
that's
was
been
just
the
like,
case for a lot of different players in international play. Is
mm-hmm,
they lived in Spain for 15 years of their life or whatever, but their family and actually where they're from is Africa or wherever else, and so they have citizenship in both. So I think like whatever the criteria was for Joel Embiid to play on USA, he obviously met that.
I'm glad he's on the team. I was very hateful earlier, but I'm just glad he's showing up. I'm
Again, it goes back to what this team is doing is Anthony Davis has had his games where he gets all the minutes at the big spot, and then Joel Embiid comes out and he plays 27 of them today, and Anthony Davis plays 10.
mm-hmm.
Like that's what's cool is there's really everybody's had their time to shine.
Let me ask you this question: since '92, what's including '92 to now? What's the best Olympic team? Like, if you had to pick a year, what team are you rocking with in their roster?
Mine is between 2012 and this team.
Really?
Or I'm sorry, '08 and this team.
I'm taking '08. I'm taking Bron and Kobe any day of the year.
The only thing
I'll
for
take.
me is Kevin Durant is this is a I don't care what you say, this is a different Kevin Durant than an
Yeah.
LA. Also they have Steph Curry, and I think like Anthony Edwards, although he isn't necessarily the top dog on this team, he's a freaking monster. Like they have real dudes on this team that I think match up with um, the '08 team just fine.
I
Like
think.
Drew
Yeah. I
Holiday and
mean,
Jason Kidd, Drew Holiday and Deron Williams,
Chris Paul.
Chris
Chris
Paul,
Paul was on
Steph
that
Curry,
squad too. I'm
Chris
looking at that.
Paul.
So you got. Let me just go off the '08 team real quick, and this is just by their number order. You had Boozer, J Kidd, Braun, Darren Williams, Michael Redd, D Wade, Kobe, Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, and Carmelo Anthony.
See, so okay,
And
so look at that roster and tell me this roster doesn't match up well with that roster. Of course it does.
no, they
Like this
100%.
roster matches up great with that roster.
I'm just I'm taking the heart of the line with the baby line that was at that time.
Who's that, Co?
Dude, I think Kobe and like Kobe, Bron, and D Wade was one of the most electric like big three you could put on the court. And I don't know, I see that was prime Dwight Howard too. That was
Right.
when Dwight Howard was a middle linebacker, defensive end with those shoulders and just dunking on everyone. But Joel Embiid's just as big.
Exactly.
So like,
Anthony Davis as well. Like, not saying Anthony Davis is prime Dwight Howard. That's not at all what I mean. But, like, there are guys that can match up with prime Dwight Howard.
All right, so obviously Bron's guarding Bron. That's gonna
Devin Booker, you can put him up against Michael Redd or a D Wade or a whatever. Same with Drew Holiday, Steph Curry, Steve Nash, and Deron Williams.
Those are, I think these are the two best teams we've had, in my opinion. Then
I'm going with this team.
I'm sorry, but
I'm going
dude,
with
I'm
this
not.
one.
I'm not going. I can't rock with the dream. I'm sorry. That's gonna piss some people off, but I just can't.
I can't either.
They were the combined age of the dream team. It was 28 and a half, 28.7 was their average age. 20, whoa. Shit. we have this current roster has more 30-year-olds than 20-year-olds, with the eldest average age of 30. Oh, damn, this team's older, 30.1.
Older, more experienced, but probably Christian Leighton.
Yeah, man, I'm
down
just
the age of
you got
of that team quite
Yeah.
significantly.
because you had old Bird, Barkley, Drexler, Ewing, Jump Magic, Michael, Karl Malone.
Johnny,
Yeah, bro, I'm taking
Johnny Stockton.
I'm sorry, but yeah, the
I'm
team's
taking
full.
this squad,
You
man.
can't let Scotty. Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just it's gonna be. I want these two teams to play.
Do it on 2K. Simulate it on 2K. See who wins.
It's not possible. I don't think that's possible. 2K.
Oh yeah,
I
they
need
probably don't have this
2008
team
Summer
on there.
Olympic roster and the 2024 Summer Olympic roster. Make that happen.
Somebody.
Wow. I remember that goal. I just that was when I started caring about the Olympics. I remember watching that game at like
For me, but
7:30 in the morning.
basketball before 2008, basketball wasn't really the thing I watched to watch the Olympics. You know, like because we weren't winning gold.
No.
But then once 2008
I
happened, it
yeah.
was like, oh yeah, we are the top dogs
I
when
think-
we put our top dogs out there.
I remember like 04. I do. I remember
Yeah, like
being
Vince
in elementary
Carter.
school and kind of just. I remember knowing that they lost. I remember knowing that they lost to Germany and that they lost to Argentina. I remember that, like, or that they were struggling or whatnot. Like, I remember those.
Well, they
but
didn't win
I didn't
gold,
watch it
yeah.
because I was young, and then 2008 was like everyone made that big old hype. Like once, I remember just the announcement that like Kobe Bryant's gonna be on the Olympic team. This is the crazy. Like no one thought that was gonna happen. That they finally recruited Kobe to the Olympic team, and there was so much hype.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yep, tuned in.
Yeah, man. Beautiful stuff with that 08 team.
Team USA for gold. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's all I got.
All right, guys.
Long one. Thanks for coming back. Long hiatus. We'll be logging on more often now. We got a little more free time. There isn't this craziest part of the season anymore. So
That's right.
see you guys next episode.
Peace.